I should have left the party when the jokes turned personal. But instead I sat there, drink in hand, watching my wife laugh louder than usual. Her laughter tinged with something sharp, something performative. And then she said it, like a dagger dipped in poison. "Come on, Evan. Don't act shy. Your best friend knows my body better than you do." The laughter around the table erupted. A couple of her co-workers clapped their hands, thinking it was just a harmless joke. But I didn't laugh. Couldn't. My stomach clenched so tight it felt like my ribs might snap. Evan, my best friend since college, froze, eyes darting from her to me. His smile faltered for half a second, just long enough to betray something raw, something real. And in that split second I knew. We'd been married 8 years. Rachel had always been playful, a little flirty even, but that night wasn't teasing. It was a confession hidden behind a punchline. I tried to play it off, forcing a laugh as my fingers tightened around my glass. "That's one hell of a joke," I said, but my voice came out lower, colder than I intended. She smirked, avoiding my eyes. "Relax, babe. You're too easy to mess with." But I saw it. The tremor in her hand as she took a sip of wine, the way she didn't look at Evan again for the rest of the night. That was all it took for my world to tilt. When we got home, silence followed us through the door. I could hear her heels clicking across the floor, the faint sound of the fridge opening, and my own heart pounding like a war drum. "You didn't think that was funny, did you?" she finally asked, her voice softer now, almost defensive. "Was it supposed to be?" I asked, turning to face her. She shrugged. "It was a joke, Michael." Everyone laughed. Not everyone. Her eyes flickered. "Oh, come on. You think I meant that? Evan's like your brother." "Exactly," I said. "So why does it feel like there's truth buried in that joke?" She rolled her eyes, but there was tension behind it. "You're being paranoid." I stepped closer. "Then look me in the eyes and tell me it's not true." Her lips parted, but no sound came out. That silence was all the answer I needed. For days, I pretended nothing had changed. I went to work, came home, ate dinner with her, smiled when she smiled. But every little thing, the way her phone was always face down, the late-night texts she dismissed as work stuff, the sudden weekend plans that didn't include me, it all gnawed at me like termites in the walls of our marriage. I started noticing things I had ignored before. Evan had stopped coming around. Usually, he'd show up to watch football or grab a beer, but now he was suddenly busy. When I texted him, the replies were short, polite, distant. So, I did something I never thought I'd do. Followed her. It was a Thursday night when she said she was meeting co-workers for drinks. I waited until she left, then followed in my car, headlights dimmed, heart thundering. She didn't go downtown. She didn't go to any restaurant or bar. She drove to a quiet neighborhood on the edge of town, and parked in front of Evan's house. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped my phone. Waited. 10 minutes. 15. Then I saw it, the front door opened, and there she was, stepping inside. Evan appeared behind her, glancing around before shutting the door. The world around me went silent. I sat there for 2 hours, the anger and disbelief wrestling in my chest until both turned into something hollow. When she finally came out, her hair was messy, her lipstick faded, and she looked guilty. Not terrified, not ashamed. Just tired. That was the moment I stopped loving her. When she got home, she acted like nothing happened. She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and mumbled something about a long night. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I wanted her to think I was still blind. So I waited and planned. Over the next week I gathered everything. Screenshots of her messages. Pictures from that night. GPS data from her phone synced to our shared account. I wasn't even sure why I was doing it. Part of me still hoped I was wrong. But when I finally confronted her, I made sure she couldn't lie. She was folding laundry when I dropped the phone on the bed. The photos flashed across the screen. Her entering Evan's house, time-stamped messages between them. Her hands froze midair. "Say something," I whispered. Rachel stared at the phone, her face paling. "Michael, Please, it's not what it looks like. I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. Then tell me what it looks like, because from where I'm standing, it looks like my wife's been sleeping with my best friend. Tears filled her eyes, but I wasn't moved. Not anymore. It wasn't supposed to happen, she said quietly. It started after your surgery last year. You were distant, angry, pushing me away. Evan was just there. My chest tightened. So that's your excuse. I had surgery, so you fell into bed with him. I didn't plan it, she cried. It happened once, then again, and then I didn't know how to stop. I hated myself for it. Not enough to stop, though. She looked up, eyes red. I still love you, Michael. No, I said coldly. You love the version of me that didn't know. Evan tried to call the next day. I didn't answer. He showed up at my house later that week, standing on the porch like some guilty ghost. Mike, man, please just hear me out. There's nothing to say, I interrupted. He ran a hand through his hair. It wasn't planned. Swear. I didn't mean to hurt you. I stepped closer. You didn't mean to. You slept with my wife, Evan. The woman I built a life with. The one person I trusted you with. His eyes dropped. I messed up, man. Messed up. I repeated, shaking my head. You destroyed everything. And the worst part. You were supposed to be my brother. He flinched at that, and for a moment I almost pitied him. Almost. Do me a favor, I said, voice low. Disappear. Don't text me. Don't call. Don't ever come near us again. And then I closed the door on him, on both of them. For weeks after, the house felt like a museum of memories I no longer wanted. The photos, the anniversary cards, the scent of her perfume on the couch. It all made me sick. Rachel begged me to go to counseling. Said we could fix this. But how do you fix something that's already dead? I can't unsee it, I told her one night, voice breaking. Every time I look at you, I see him. Every touch feels like a lie. She cried until her voice gave out, but I didn't hold her. I just stood there, numb, watching the woman I once adored turn into a stranger. The divorce was quick, uncontested. I gave her the house. I couldn't stand being in it anymore. Friends tried to console me. They said time would heal. Maybe it would. But healing didn't mean forgetting. It meant learning to live with the scar. Months passed. I moved into a small apartment near the river, started running again, eating better. Slowly, I began to breathe without the weight on my chest. But one evening, as I was watching the sunset from my balcony, I got a message. From Evan. I'm sorry, Mike. She left me too. Said she couldn't live with the guilt. I just wanted you to know. I think about it every day. I stared at the message for a long time. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. A year later, I ran into Rachel at the grocery store. She looked thinner, older. Life had drained the brightness from her eyes. Michael, she said softly. You look good. He nodded. You too. She smiled faintly. I still think about you. About us. I met her gaze, calm this time. I don't, I said simply. She blinked like I just slapped her, then nodded and walked away. And just like that, the ghost of her finally left me. Looking back, I realize betrayal doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your sense of reality. You start questioning everything. Every laugh, every kiss, every memory. You wonder how much was real and how much was just pretending. But in the ruins, you also find something unexpected. Yourself. I lost a wife and a best friend. But I found clarity. I found peace in solitude, in knowing I survived the worst kind of heartbreak. The one that comes from someone who once swore they'd never hurt you. And sometimes on quiet nights I think back to that party. Her laughter, that cruel joke, the way Evan couldn't look me in the eye. And I realized that was the moment my old life ended. Not with a scream. Not with a fight. But with a laugh that hid the truth. The kind of laugh that still echoes, long after the love is gone.